UK's next big roller coaster is opening in less than a year now, and finally it has had its track delivered to the park that it's going to. There's been various rumours, closures and destruction taking place on roller coasters around the world at very rapid rates, and amongst all of that, this insanely fast roller coaster has started testing. Look at it go! It's been one heck of a week because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, welcome back to absolutely no one's favourite news series, This Past Week in Theme Parks, where we take a look at the news in the past 7 days at theme parks. And as always, there is a lot of news to go through, so if you want to skip to specific stories, please be sure to use the video progress bar chapters below. And whilst you're down there, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. These videos do take quite some time to research and create each week, so any support towards this series and the channel would be greatly appreciated. Either way, it's that time again. Time to go through all of the news, and there's not enough time. What are we going to do? How are we going to go through all the news without being here for a millennium? It's time for the quickfire news segment. Let's go. Starting in America, I'm not going to play the eagle sound effect today because it's actually the wrong bird sound. Where Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America has finally started its brand new repaint. I do say finally, but it literally closed like last week to have this done to it, and it's already starting to look lovely and orange like it already did. Talking of last week as well, I actually forgot to mention a story last week. My apologies, because another ride did close known as Tiger Terror at Safariland Indoor Amusement Park. Oh, just look at the train. Isn't it amazing? That family coaster did close on the same day as all of the other ones, so if you want to look at what happened last week, go and watch that in the top right. Because I even reported on the fact Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket at Universal Studios Orlando was closing forever. This janky mid-course brake run the ride. It was very iconic and a lot of fun. Complete different contrast there. Closed less than a week ago, and they've already been ripping out the track at a rapid rate. I'm pretty sure the entirety of the last section of the ride is completely gone now, and the further end where the helix is, and of course you've got that treble clef element, that is now going up in sparks too, which of course is really sad to see, but it had to happen. At some point, guarantee you someone has turned up at the park, seen it all destroyed, and said to a member of staff, "Is Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket opening today?" I'm going to be that person in September. I got sidetracked because there's so much more news. In Universal as well, at Epic Universe, where they've had Harry Potter and the Ministry of Magic and also Minecart Madness added to the Express Pass access. Just to give those rides, you know, the slight bit longer of a queue that they definitely did not need, but they've gone and done that. Disney World in general has had a lot of updates, including the fact Spaceship Earth is now closed at Epcot, the big golf ball ride. It's now done. Well, done for now because it's being refurbished and opening again next year. They've also shown previews of their brand new restaurant near Pirates of the Caribbean called the Beak and Barrel, and it does look like a great place to eat. They also shared full details for the brand new Muppets takeover of Rock and Roller Coaster, with basically the whole storyline revealed. I'll stick it on screen. I ain't reading all that. Big Thunder Mountain is going to have a brand new lift hill scene, so instead of being just a rainbow cavern, it's going to have some thunder effects and transform into like a red cave area. Zootopia Better Together at Animal Kingdom is going to open on the 7th of November, and they've shared images of Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin and the sort of refurbishments that are going on there. But that wasn't the only Disney updates this week, because there's actually a lot coming out of Disneyland Paris. But we'll get onto that. Because over in Kissimmee, which is very close to Orlando, I thought it was actually in Orlando, but apparently not. Shows how much I know. Mindblower at Fun Spot Kissimmee has now gone into maintenance and doesn't seem to be open. That ride is very much praised for how smooth it is. Definitely. And it's a wooden coaster with an inversion on it. One day I'll get to try that. If it ever opens again. Maybe they're axing this ride off and just buying that switchback roller coaster from ZDT. And SeaWorld San Diego have reopened Journey to Atlantis, their very famous water coaster after a huge refurbishment. And I've seen a few reviews of it, basically saying that it's the same thing as before, just with a tiny bit of added storyline. The way that's been reviewed feels like what people said when Nemesis Reborn opened. Oh, it's the same ride, it's just painted over. No. There's so much more than that. But for Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld San Diego, it doesn't seem like there's much more than that. As we jet over from America over to Saudi Arabia. Because over there, they are of course opening the world's tallest, fastest and longest roller coaster, Falcon's Flight. But one coaster there that no one's talking about at all is this thing at the park. and look at it go. I can assure you, that is not sped up. That's ridiculous. And supposedly, that coaster is rider controlled. So you might be able to actually go as fast as that on it. I'm more excited for that than I am Falcon's Flight, I think. And now jetting over from Saudi Arabia to South Korea. I don't think we've actually had South Korea mentioned on this series, so welcome. Good to have you here, and pretty much they are going to be getting a brand new world's first Zamperla double heart coaster next year in 2026 at Lotte World. And this graphic here, it does look like a huge roller coaster off in the distance, and it's going to be 164 feet tall with a 68-mile-an-hour top speed. That'll be really nice. Actually looks like a really fun ride. Let's just hope Zamperla can actually open it on time, unlike they did last time. But now there's a lot of jetting off here. We're going over to Europe, because we go over to one of my favourite theme parks in the world, Efteling in the Netherlands, and it appears they might have something new planned for 2027, because supposedly the French park Puy de Fou is now looking for co-workers to build a brand new project at Efteling until 2027. So this is looking to be either a brand new show somewhere in the park or a replacement of Ravelin and just make it walk through. But it would be nice to see what happens there at Efteling. And from mainland Europe itself, the main story, other than the fact Walibi Holland's Boomerang got stuck in the middle of the loop and the Cobra roll, the main story comes from Disneyland Paris, because on a specific date in the past week, they have released so many different documents to do with their brand new adventure world and the Lion King ride itself. The Lion King log flume, yes, we now have the full layout for the ride pretty much, with loads of different details on the actual plan showing sort of buildings and the Coke room. There's 3D renderings of what the area will look like when you're walking through it, and as you can see, these look absolutely lovely. Just look at them. Such a lovely savannah, you know? Blueprint showing the height and scale of the massive mountain where the main drops are going to be. But the main details you need to know is there's going to be 2 lift hills on the ride with 3 different drops, 19 different scenes, a dual platform load station, and reach a potential height of 23 meters. And the actual rock itself, the huge rock that goes up to the sky, is 37 meters tall itself. Genuinely looks like it's going to be a great ride. I've seen a lot of complaints saying, why are you building a log flume in France where it's going to be cold? Excuse me, we ride Valhalla in -5. No one cares about a little splash on a log flume. It looks great, and I really can't wait to see that come into fruition over the next few years. Now it is time to head to the UK. I'm not going to jet off there. Where have I gone? Not again. Because so much has been happening here in the UK. Chessington World of Adventures have been very busy destroying Wild Asia to make way for the Minecraft themed land, and more construction walls have gone up around it, and now the whole area is completely flat. With Cobra, the Zamperla Disco moved over to the car park so it can move back 5 meters to the right when it goes back in that site and be themed to like an iron golem or something. Talking of new construction walls, Blackpool Pleasure Beach have put up some brand new branding for Aviktas, their brand new gyro swing. There's a lot of brand news in this, but that brand new ride opens in the brand new year 2026. Capri World have added a photo booth themed to heroes. Why is that in this list? Thorpe Park have released a vinyl based on the Hyperia soundtrack, and only 236 of these are available, so if you want to go and buy that, do it. Back to Blackpool again, if you want to buy the Big One Pepsi can print that was around the outside wrapped around, you can. Back to Thorpe again, Rumba Rapids has been announced to close on the 1st of September for the rest of the season, and Drayton Manor did a 75-minute challenge on all of their roller coasters around the park for the 75th anniversary of the park. And I was very grateful to be involved in that event. It was lovely. I will be speaking about this in another video properly at some point soon, but one thing I will say is I've had a lot of people either complaining or attacking me in my DMs purely because I attended an event that was put on by Drayton Manor. If you're frustrated that an event is going on, understandable, but don't blame the people that have just come to the event. Maybe talk to the park, the ones who actually organised it. Some of the things people said about me and the others at that event is so silly. But there are 2 parks left that I need to talk about that have had so much going on in them that is quite major news. Starting with Alton Towers, where they very recently announced a brand new scare maze called the Edge of the Forest, and have been setting off with construction on the brand new roller coaster for next year. And if you want to see all about that, watch the video in the top right at the end of this one. They've also announced a brand new ghost VIP tour of the towers themselves, and a behind the scenes VIP VIP event of Compound 2. That's all very exciting stuff. The ride access pass system at the park seems to be changing as well, with lots of QR codes now being put up around the entire park and at all of the different rides that have ride access pass entrances. Looks like that system is going to change either at the end of this year or next year, but if you want to hear more about accessibility and stuff like that, go and check out my lovely girlfriend Emily's YouTube channel on screen. She does loads about accessibility. Go and check it out. One of the main rides in the park that has one of those QR codes outside of it, Wickerman, of course, that did have a lot of downtime recently because of a small fire or something. Oh no, not again. But it did reopen after 4 or 5 days, and funnily enough, I then went to the park to do an update about it all, released the video, and the day I released it, I was actually at the park again, and Wickerman shut for maintenance again. Oh no, not again. Like I said, the park just can't catch a break, can they? Because it's not great to have a major ride at the park going down so much for reasons that are out of their control. But the final park I want to talk about is, of course, one of the up-and-coming theme parks in the UK, I would say. Paultons Park, all the way down south. And not only are they building this brand new area with a new roller coaster, and yeah, we'll get onto that in a second, but they recently shared a video of Lost Kingdom, their dinosaur-themed land, with a brand new edition of these little robot dinosaurs running around the place, going into queue lines, and obviously this is going to be an interactive feature with guests at some sort of meet and greet or something, but I absolutely love that. Genuinely looks so cool, and those robot things are not cheap, so that's a pretty big investment, much like their main new ride and area for 2026, the Realm of Valgard, a Viking themed land with an entirely new theme of Cobra, their Gerstlauer bobsled coaster, a new ART Wild Swing, which is basically a family version of a top spin, and of course the main event, a huge Gerstlauer Eurofighter coaster that will go in and amongst the support and track of Cobra, or what's it called now? Raven. There we go. Going upside down a couple of times and having a beyond vertical drop and everything like that. It's going to be a nice little area, and they've actually had the track for that new coaster delivered to the park. As you can see right here in these images, a bright red track. It's going to have like brown supports, and I think it does look really cool. Well, I say brown, they're like burgundy. Reddy brown. But the sections that you see on your screen are actually from the coaster station itself. So of course, from this point now, they can install that and we'll have all of the sort of technical stuff inside be able to be sorted before going on to the rest of the track, which has now actually been sighted to arrive around October time. And the construction on that will start in November. So we'll actually see the coaster start going up the main portions of the ride in November. But so far, the track has been delivered to the site, the supports as well. Oh, it's fantastic to see, isn't it? Just admire that track. So beautiful, so red and nice. I just pray, for the love of God, Gerstlauer, pull it out of the bag and don't make it really rough. What are your thoughts on all of the news that has happened in the past week? Leave it in the comments below and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because there is so much more to come on this channel, including this series as well. Goodbye.